climax of this program. We know say my principal assistant will help am for do everything way President Leone succeed for do. It's a dynamic, hard-working, resilient, honorable Vice President we can help am for do that. We will now call on the Honorable Vice President Alhaji, and I will make a wait for me. Alhaji Dr. Mohamed Juldeh Jalloh for can give me the keynote address. Let me all team up as we welcome we Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Juldeh Jalloh. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kindly sit down, please. I will start to say we distinguished and elegant women of this republic, honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament at the city and they shine with nice glasses. At the civil ministers then I see a lot of NGO and civil society leaders. At the civil development partners there, I see the ambassador of the European Union, the ambassador of the Republic of Ireland, the High Commissioner of Great Britain, United Kingdom, and I see the ambassador of the United States of America, the UN resident coordinator, the World Bank manager, and all the other beautiful women. First of all, I want to bring you greetings on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Julius Marabio, who currently is out of the country. It is planned for come in the next day or two. We all know and we all know the work where His Excellency Dr. Julius Marabio has done over the years. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this day today is a very important day, not only for Sierra Leone, but across the world. It is a day set aside for us to celebrate the progress we have made to gender equality and women empowerment. Today, the theme of this day, what a very important day, is invest in women, accelerate progress. But before I go to talk on that theme, I cannot accelerate progress if I don't highlight some of the progress we have made. So I'm going to use the opportunity to highlight some of the landmark progress we have made as a country and also identify several gaps as we move forward. You know, when we came to power in 2018, it is clearly written and designed in the manifesto of His Excellency Dr. Julius Marabio that he wanted his government to be a progressive government, to be a government that is going to provide the opportunity and the environment for us to work collectively towards gender equality and women empowerment. What we did, we approached gender equality and women empowerment from an ecosystem. The model that we used was an ecosystem model. What does that mean? It means we took a multifaceted approach to supporting gender equality and women empowerment. We didn't attack it just from a governance point of view, advocacy point of view, where we are just saying we have to work to improve gender equality, we have to work to enhance women empowerment. We decided to develop a model, an ecosystem. What is that ecosystem? We looked at across all the sectors where we realized that we can make solid progress. We concentrated on those sectors. People before me have said a lot about that, but I will just focus on few items. First is the social sectors. When you look at all what we did as a government along the social sector, I start with education. Our primary focus within the free quality education was to improve girls' education, was to make sure that we don't get more girls to school, but we keep them in school. We took all the actions, we took all the policy steps to make sure today we have more girls in secondary and basic secondary school than boys. That is because of the very selective focus we made on girls' education between the free quality education. Today we have opportunity for young girls who want to study science. From primary, secondary, up to university, they have free education. The government is responsible for them. And we have not only stopped to that, when also we were designing the foundational learning to give opportunity to poor rural families to have their kids, to expose them to foundational learning, we decided to build nursery schools, foundational learning centers around market areas. We did that deliberately to allow market women so that during the day they can send their young kids to school to enable them to concentrate on their work. That is why most of the successful foundational learning centers we built across this country, we are designed around market areas to allow women to send their kids to those schools while at the same time go and do their normal business and work. I will go on and on, but I will just jump. We increased the budgetary allocation to 22%. If you look even at the MCC indicator, you realize that our expenditure in girls' education, we have consistently passed that indicator because we are focused on improving girls' education, increase enrollment and retention rate. When you go back to health, in health our focus as a government is maternal and infant health. And specifically, we have invested a lot of money. When we came in 2018, our budget in the health sector was around 6%. We have progressively increased that. We increased that up to 11.2%. And the focus is essentially around maternal death. We said we are going to invest resources, we are going to recruit additional health workers, we are going to buy equipment, we are going to expand the health sector, health delivery, healthcare delivery, so that women can deliver safely. We did that, and as a result of that, we have been able to reduce maternal death in this country by 38%. This is just to tell you that our model to women empowerment is multifaceted model. It is an ecosystem. We didn't just focus on governance, we also look at the health sector, where we realize that we need to do more to improve women's health. And then in the health sector also, we have done a lot. When I went to Addis Ababa the last time, I was invited to a podium where I was never meant to speak. I was asked a question about nutrition. I told them what we have done, because we realized Sierra Leone is one of the countries in Africa that has a dedicated budget line for nutrition. We are spending money on nutrition to support pregnant women and under 5 children as well. Sierra Leone, because of that, so many African countries are going to take that model to make sure that they have nutrition as a dedicated line. And all of this was geared towards improving women's health, safe delivery for women. When you come to governance, we have been undertaking, His Excellency has pushed through progressive laws. 2 of those laws, like the minister said, and the leader of the Women Forum said, is the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Act that was passed. Today, you see the dividend. We have more women in parliament than any other time in the history of this country. We have more women in cabinet than any other time in the history of this country. We have more women in strategic leadership positions as Director General than any other time in this country. That is as a result of those legislation. It is one thing to have a law, and it is another thing for the government to have the commitment to implement that law. And His Excellency the President and the government have demonstrated the commitment to implement that law. And we have also set up institutions. Today we have a special court to try sexual offenses, accelerated court. Today people are sent to jail for rape cases and they are kept in prison. No matter how you are powerful, we send you to jail and we keep you in prison to send a strong message that this country is no longer ready for those kind of crimes. In the area of advocacy, we've done a lot. There have been masterpiece initiatives across the country. masterpiece initiatives to support gender equality and women's empowerment. One of those initiatives is the Hands Off Our Girl campaign that has been cheered, pioneered by Her Excellency the First Lady of this Republic. Another initiative is the Financial Inclusion Initiative, where we realize it is one thing to create laws, it is one thing to create an environment for women to thrive, but it is another thing to empower them so that they can be able to be very effective in the economic ecosystem. We created rules and regulations to ensure that women have access to credit. We created a wonderful Munafa Fund, and His Excellency is going to double the budget of the Munafa Fund moving forward. So more women will have access to those credits, and more women will be able to use them. We have also established institutions to support what we call vulnerability. The government is going to establish the National Social Protection Agency. That agency is going to address vulnerabilities, and the key beneficiaries of that agency's work are going to be women above 60 years old. Women above 60 years old will be supported through that agency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we all know say me a politician. When you give me mic, I will talk boku to you what government don't do, because I don't know who will see this kind of woman the way they are. But what I want to say, when you listen to the Minister of Development and Economic Planning, he don't already identify and clearly say gender mainstreaming now a focal, central element of the medium and national development plan. The medium and national development plan now take 2030. We not put on 2030 by mistake. We try for link and up to the SDG, so that as we go with the development plan, we use them back as an indicator, as a framework to measure the progress so they make with the SDG. So by the time we complete the plan, the time frame for the SDG would all reach. So they go side by side, and inside and a lot of work there for gender empowerment, for women's empowerment. The minister don't talk about the big five. The big five, I don't need to talk about them. Feed salon, the critical element of the big five. In the big feed salon, one critical area, we all know, we have to support small holding families, women they therefore get priority in the big five, particularly with the feed salon. You see, I know say, so many speakers before me have said that we need to do more. And we are going to do more. We are going to do more. We are going to create the space for women not only to look up to government, but for them to use that space, for them to make sure that they transform that space into a space that is going to propel national development. When you look at the history, today we are not here as a result of accident. We are here because so many women 20, 30 years ago started this fight. And those women that we are in NGOs, that we are in civil society organizations, the 50-50, the Women Forum, they have been advocating for the past 20, 30 years. So today, where we are today, we want to use the opportunity to thank them and to celebrate their sacrifice, to celebrate their dedication, and to celebrate their commitment. And when the women started, particularly in the post-conflict period in Sierra Leone, during the peace process, they play a formidable role. So I want to challenge the women of Sierra Leone that if after the war you played a formidable role to unite this country, you still have a platform to promote national cohesion. Use your platform to promote national cohesion. The women that will get opportunity, we will not get platform, we will not use them for divide the country. We will not use them for talk negative thing about the country. We will not use the country for promote the image of the country, for get positive image of Sierra Leone, for bring people them together, so that people them will know say, una the woman them, we are able to drive national unity and national cohesion. We need to build a cohesive society. Now, only way build a cohesive society, you will get a progressive government. Women will only able to progress in a context where there is stability and progress. If there is no stability and progress, women they're not going to able to progress. So like I tell you now about the ecosystem. This ecosystem una get a role for play. We see una as the engine and the vehicle of national cohesion. We want the women that were in different political parties, let them take up the challenge to make sure say the inter-party dialogue where we don't start as a result of the national dialogue, let them be part of them. Let them take that inter-party dialogue in the regions them, in the district them, in the community them. Let them send a strong message. Say with national cohesion, we able to build a progressive and development society. And then the message. On another note, I want to use the opportunity to thank you to the development partners them. Me, I don't work now over 14 countries around the world. I don't work in Europe, I don't work in Asia, Latin America, and so many African countries. I don't celebrate International Women's Day. But I've never seen a celebration of International Women's Day where you have all these development partners on the high table. I've never seen it in any country. I want to thank them for that. I want to thank them for their support, and I want to thank them for their commitment. But this is not a surprise to me, because when you come to Sierra Leone, you take what we call the Sierra Leonean-ness attitude. The Sierra Leonean-ness attitude is an attitude of solidarity. Sierra Leoneans are people with shared solidarity. Now when they see us together, they see how they work together, they see how they play together, and the ambience how they show at the office there, that they don't impact them. That is why we are together celebrating International Women's Day, and I want to thank them for this dedication and this shared sense of solidarity. I also want to thank all the great women there, because 20 years ago, we are working a campaign for good governance. I know the organizations there, I know the women there, I know the faith where the women them don't faith, I know the role where some women them play. I know we call names there because them boku. So, but we know some of them they inside, and then at this gathering today, we want to tell them thank you. Say that faith with them in the faith, that trangaes with them in the make, that push with them in the push. Now make today most of them girl picking them in school, most of them girl picking them get safe environment, most of them girl picking them don't be cabinet ministers, most of them girl picking them don't be honorable, most of them girl picking them don't be director general. That faith day, now una faith. We as policymakers, we just did it to listen to her and work together. So I want to tell you thanking. I also want to tell all the NGOs and civil society organizations, we know the investment they have made over the years. We know the commitment they have made over the years. We know the efforts they have put into this struggle. Where we are today, we cannot celebrate without making reference to them. And I also want to use this opportunity on behalf of His Excellency the President and the government to thank all those NGOs, those civil society organizations that have joined this fight a couple of years ago, decades ago. Today we are here. If you see ambassadors, if you see high commissioners talking about what we have done as a country, the progressive laws we have passed, what we have done as a government, where we are today comparable to other countries, we want to thank all those NGOs and civil society organizations for their relentless effort. I want to tell you thank you. I want to tell everybody where you can thank you. I want to tell you say, don't challenge we as a government. We say don't challenge the women of this country. Let the women then know say, if we talk tomorrow of a cohesive society, we're going to get a role for play. If we talk about national cohesion, we're going to get a role for play. So we're going to team up, we're going to join the faith, then we all faith, because now only when you have a stable and progressive country, you will talk about gender empowerment. I want to tell you now all thank you and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Let us empower the woman. Woman, them not the right time, so we become front row, say we can do one better. Not a kitchen, and we so there for push the country forward, say we can do one better. Empower we can do the best entirely. When we self get the energy, purpose the country on our way, get there. See, take a look around, we get the best first lady, when a woman. Take a woman, una empower no more, yes, yeah.
man and poor, make you want sit